This could be the first WWE 2K game in a very long time that will not feature Brock Lesnar in the video game. WWE 2K24's roster reveal was just yesterday. They announced some names online that we're going to go through here just to recap. We're also going to talk about the full roster list that they released because there are some names that are not there that definitely should be on the list. Now, in case you've been sleeping under a rock and you're not totally aware, there are very, very large, serious allegations against Vince McMahon. WWE themselves have removed Vince McMahon, his name, anything associated with him from their website. You can't find him. The likes of Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon are still listed with the company. And in fact, Shane and Stephanie are both listed for the 2K24 roster as well. Within the allegations of what's going on with Vince McMahon, Brock Lesnar's name has come up within the issue in the allegations. And we're not going to go into all the details here. You guys can find it on the internet yourself. But as it pertains to the video game, the big question mark has been, is Brock Lesnar going to be in the game? For 2K's roster reveal that they just did, Brock Lesnar was not listed on the official list. Now, there are some names that are just not on that list that totally should be there. One of them being Drew McIntyre. We've seen screenshots of Drew McIntyre. We know he's in the game. So it could just be a matter of 2K has not yet updated the roster list to include names like Drew and others, and we're going to talk about those in a second. But when it comes to Brock Lesnar, he was not listed. We also haven't seen any footage of Brock in the video game either. Now, there's lots of articles and reports going on, and the one that I want to highlight here is coming over from Mike Straw from Insider Gaming, who did a good write-up of this whole situation. Mike says that Brock Lesnar is in WWE 2K24, but you won't be able to play as him. Multiple sources have told Insider Gaming that while it was too late to fully remove Lesnar from the game, the plan shifted to simply make him unplayable for players upon release. Despite being unplayable, his character and game files are still within 2K24. That means that there will be ways for those with the ability to get him to become playable. It'll just take some work to make it happen. So to pause right there, Brock Lesnar, according to Mike Straw and the other reports out there, Brock's not going to be in the game. He's not going to be playable in the game. Now, if Mike is correct and the files are still going to be in the game and they basically just hidden him in there for his whole model, his entrance theme, call name, signs, entrance motion, like the whole thing, if it's all basically still in there, we've seen this happen in years past where the motion for Adam Cole, for example, was still in the game. His call name was still in there. There is a very good chance that people will be able to go and find the files for Brock Lesnar and basically get him unlocked. Will 2K go in and shun players for doing this? I have no idea. We've seen this though in the last couple of years on consoles where folks have been able to pull out different files and get those entrances and get those models produced for us and put them on community creations. It might be one of those situations again this year. This could also be, and I'm speculating, but this could also be the same situation for Vince McMahon. By all accounts, like there's no word of Vince McMahon, period. So it doesn't sound like he would just be even in the game at all. But once again, his model, likeness, everything, it could still be in the files and just hidden. Mike continues in the article to say, as far as why he's not just being removed from the game, there are a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is the fact that it was so late in the game's development when the latest allegations against Vince McMahon arose that also implicated Lesnar, though he wasn't mentioned by name. Another is it's possible that he has minor inclusions with different game modes. Insider Gaming has reached out to over a dozen contacts at 2K through various methods for comment on the Lesnar status within the game, as well as what sources have said. As of writing, however, each request has gone unanswered. The closest to an answer has been a rep passing along what the company says is, quote, the full roster, with Lesnar not included. This story is still developing. Should 2K provide an official response on the Brock Lesnar and WWE 2K24, we will amend the article. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on all of this? I know that if you put the Brock allegation situation aside, people like just playing the wrestling game and being able to have all the characters in there, all of the wrestlers, so they can play as them. So this is disappointing for fans of Brock Lesnar, the wrestler and the superstar, to be able to go in there and drop F5s and all of that. But we might have some hope that if he is fully removed from the game, and we won't know until the game comes out really, that we might be able to see that he's got hidden files in there, and then players will just post him anyways on community creations, and then it really won't be that big of a deal. Or we're going to see some really, really detailed creations in there for Brock Lesnar. I'm curious when it comes to different modes like Mike was talking about, whether it be My Rise as an example or Showcase. I have no idea if Brock is even in those modes or Showcase in the showcase mode? We really don't know. I don't know if 2K had to pivot at all when putting the game together and showcase with Brock Lesnar, because there's big monumental matches over the span of WrestleMania, which would be like him breaking the streak of The Undertaker. It's kind of a big deal. So maybe they were able to swap things out and put something else in there. We'll have to wait and see when the game comes out. But like I said, there are other names for the roster reveal list that just came up the other day that we saw highlighted, but they weren't put on the official 2K roster list. So 2K put out this tweet with some awesome names that are going to be in 2K24. They highlighted The Undertaker, The Rock, Triple H, Lita, George the Animal Steel, which is awesome. I can't remember the last time we had George the Animal Steel in a wrestling game. You guys let me know. Ken Shamrock. Shamrock was heavily rumored, and we know that he has signed a Legends deal with WWE. We reported on this like months ago. I was hoping that he was going to be in the game. I honestly thought that Shamrock would end up being DLC. I didn't think that they would be in the base game, but they have him listed here. The others being Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which is fantastic, and Mankind. That has me so excited because 3 faces of Foley. Because we know based on the roster list that Mick Foley is a manager. Dude Love was also confirmed. Mankind is now confirmed as well. And on the official roster list, Cactus Jack is listed once again. We've had in the 2K games in previous years, but we have been missing Mankind and Dude Love officially in the game. So this has me excited that the Legends side of things, it looks like that roster could have potential to be pretty big, because we have no idea yet what the DLC will be. We gotta wait until the game is like about to come out, because that's when I assume 2K will reveal what the full DLC is gonna be, so players can choose whether they're gonna get the season pass or not. But people were looking at the roster list yesterday that they did reveal, and it's not quite fully up to date, and it's a little odd. For example, we mentioned earlier, Drew McIntyre, not listed on the official 2K roster yet. I'm going to somewhat assume that this list was built a little while ago, but it's the first one that they went with, and we need to see it get updated in the next couple of days. So I really wouldn't be surprised. Another example would be Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. So when I covered the roster reveal even yesterday, Gallows and Anderson were not listed, but as I went back and refreshed, Luke Gallows is there. Carl Anderson is still not listed. But some cool names that I think stand out. For example, Scarlett is going to be a playable character this year and not stuck as just a manager. I think that's a great touch. Robert Roode is another name that stands out to me. He's been off WWE for so long now because he had injury, and he's been a WWE producer. I was wondering if he was going to be just in the game at all, so I'm happy to see Robert Roode being in there. A lot of people were commenting on like my videos for the full roster saying like, where's Goldberg? Well, Goldberg hasn't been with WWE. He finished up his deal and contract a while ago, and there's been no sighting of Goldberg whatsoever. He's like on the alumni page for WWE. So this is also the first year in a very long time. Doesn't look like we're going to get Goldberg in the game unless there's some other deal going on with WWE and Goldberg where they are going to keep him in the game, but because we are getting Ronda Rousey, which has been confirmed, but Goldberg is not in there. Another one would be Edge. We know Edge is with AEW, but on the roster list, another surprising name for me, and I'm happy about it, Rob Van Dam. Van Dam is confirmed to be in 2K24 despite he has a working relationship and he is on AEW television regularly right now. So there are some names where I'm kind of like, I wonder they got removed and it's the timing, or maybe it's just coming down to what WWE wants in terms of the roster. Because I really wouldn't be surprised if we boot up the game this year and you go into Creation Suite, you might find Edge's whole entrance in there and you're going to be able to recreate him. And like we mentioned, Ken Shamrock, he was posted by 2K, but they didn't put him on the official roster list. There are other names too, and a lot of people were just dropping lists of names of who's not there. Jade obviously is not listed there. CM Punk is not listed. I don't think it's anybody's surprise that we probably will see Punk be DLC. Lyra Valkyria is not listed. Lash Legend is not listed either. But just because those names are not listed here doesn't mean that they're not in the game. Like again, we gotta wait until the full game comes out, the full final roster is shown off, because Lyra Valkyria, as an example, for all we know, she's DLC, because 2K is going to want to put in maybe 5 to 6 names per pack, and you're going to need to fill it out with legends plus NXT stars. Other names that have popped up, even in the showcase trailer, they weren't on the official list. Kurt Angle, Razor Ramon as examples. We've seen them in the 2K trailer footage. We know they're in the game, but they're not on the official roster list. So I find those things a little odd. That's why I think that this list was a little bit older when they put it together. But the list does confirm names like Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, like we saw for the trailer. That's all great news. If you guys want the full breakdown of everyone in the roster so far, here's the full roster reveal list as we go through it. Have a great day. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.